Senior-friendly informational tone, no specific speaker character. Many people ask the same question. Is a vegetarian diet healthy? The honest answer is it depends. It depends, because vegetarian eating can look very different from person to person. Some people simply reduce meat. Some avoid meat completely, but still eat eggs and dairy. Some remove everything from animals and follow a strict vegan diet. And some people think vegetarian means eating mostly salad and fruit. The label is the same, but the results can be completely different. This is why a simple yes or no answer can be misleading. A vegetarian diet can help health in many cases, but it can also make health worse if the basics are misunderstood. So in this video, we will focus on what older adults should know to avoid common mistakes and build a balanced approach. First, we need to talk about a reality. Many people forget most of the vegetables and fruits we eat are not grown in our own garden. We buy them from stores, and because they are commercial products, they are often grown to look good rather than to be natural. Consumers usually choose vegetables that are big, bright, clean, and perfect-looking. Farmers respond to what sells, so the production process can become more artificial. For example, leafy greens are considered more marketable when the color is deep green and the leaves are large. This can encourage heavy use of certain fertilizers, especially nitrogen-based fertilizers. When these are used excessively, some vegetables can accumulate higher levels of nitrate. Nitrate itself is not always a problem. In normal amounts, it can be handled. But when very high levels come in repeatedly over a long time, the body can convert it into compounds that are not desirable. The key point is not to fear vegetables. The key point is to choose wisely and not to chase only perfect-looking produce. Sometimes a vegetable that is curved, uneven, or imperfect is just as nutritious. The problem is that our eyes often decide first. So one practical habit is this. Do not ignore natural-looking produce. Just because it is not perfect does not mean it is lower quality. In fact, supporting more natural produce can help push farming practices in a healthier direction. Now let us talk about why a well-built vegetarian diet can be beneficial. The biggest advantage is variety of minerals and fiber. Vegetables and fruits contain many different minerals and plant compounds. Fiber is also very important, especially for digestion and gut health. If we think about it simply, the human body is built from the elements found in nature. From soil and water, humans cannot eat soil directly. So plants exist to do something amazing. Plants draw minerals from the earth and concentrate them into edible forms in leaves, stems, roots, and fruits. Different plants concentrate different nutrients. That is why eating a variety of plant foods makes sense. But this leads to one of the most common vegetarian mistakes. Many people eat only certain parts of plants. They focus mainly on leaves and sweet fruits because they are easy to eat. Leaves are tender, fruits taste good. But plants have roots, stems, leaves, and fruits, and each part has different characteristics. If you only eat leaves and fruits, your diet can become unbalanced. A better approach is to include a wide mix of root vegetables like radish, carrot, beet stem vegetables, and hardy greens, leafy greens like romaine, kale, and others. Fruit vegetables like tomato, cucumber, pumpkin, and so on. You do not need to eat every part of one plant. The idea is variety across the week. Color variety helps too. Different colors often represent different plant compounds and nutrients. A simple habit is to include multiple colors in daily meals. Red, green, yellow, purple, and white. This is not magic. It is simply a practical way to widen the nutritional range. Next, we need to talk about juices. Many people use green juice because it feels easy and fast. They believe it is a shortcut to health. But the most valuable part of vegetables is not only the liquid, the fiber is a major benefit, especially for gut movement and the health of intestinal bacteria. When you juice vegetables and throw away the pulp, you remove much of the fiber. This does not mean you must never drink juice. It means you should not depend on juice as your main way of eating vegetables. Long-term heavy juicing can create imbalance because it is a form of concentration. It becomes easy to consume a much larger amount than you would normally chew. And when you consume too much too fast, the body may not respond well. A good rule is simple. Eat what you can chew comfortably. Chewing is not only mechanical. It supports digestion and helps the body regulate intake. When you drink instead of chew, it becomes easier to overload. Now let us discuss raw foods versus cooked foods. Some people believe vegetables must be raw to be healthy. That is not always true. The biggest difference between raw and cooked is digestion. Raw vegetables can be difficult to digest for many older adults. Cooking softens plant cell walls and makes digestion easier. If your digestion is weak, forcing large amounts of raw foods can create gas, bloating discomfort, and irregular bowel movements in that case. Lightly cooking vegetables is often better. You do not need to boil everything heavily, gentle. Steaming or light cooking can keep nutrients while improving digestion. For people with weaker immunity, food safety is also important. Raw food may carry risks, if not cleaned well. So again, the best choice depends on your body. Now let us talk about constipation. Many people think constipation means you must eat much more vegetables immediately. But some types of fiber can actually worsen constipation if taken in excess too suddenly. Many vegetables contain a high amount of insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber can add bulk, but if the gut is sensitive or water intake is not adequate, it can make stool harder to pass. In many cases, constipation improves when fiber is increased gradually and when soluble fiber is included as well. Soluble fiber can be found in certain foods, including some grains and legumes. The solution is not simply more vegetables. The solution is balanced fiber, gradual adjustment, enough water, and slow chewing. Next, we must talk about nutrients that can become low in strict vegan diets. Vitamin B12 is a major example. It is important for the nervous system and blood health. People on strict vegan diets often need a reliable way to supplement it. Protein and fat also matter. Some people fear protein when they avoid meat. But protein exists in many plant foods, legumes, grains, and even vegetables contain protein. The problem happens when a person eats, mostly fruit and leafy greens, without enough protein sources. Over time, weight may drop, but the wrong kind of weight drops. Muscle becomes softer. Arms and legs lose strength. This is not a healthy direction. If muscle is decreasing steadily, it is a warning sign. The body is using valuable tissue because intake is not sufficient. In that case, the diet needs to be adjusted quickly. The main message is balance. Not extremes. Vegetarian eating is not about being strict at all costs. It is about building a pattern that your body can maintain without weakness. Now we will briefly discuss coffee because many people treat coffee as a health food. Coffee itself is not automatically harmful, but problems can arise from poor storage and processing. Coffee beans are agricultural products. If stored in warm, humid conditions, they can develop mold toxins. These can be dangerous. Some harmful compounds can also increase depending on roasting conditions. Consumers cannot easily measure these things, so the safest approach is moderation and choosing well-managed sources. Coffee contains caffeine, which can create alertness, but it does not truly remove fatigue. It can mask tiredness and sometimes lead people to push beyond their limits. If you have trouble sleeping or have sensitive stomach acid, coffee may worsen symptoms. In that case, drink it lightly or consider decaf options. Modern decaf processing is often safer than older methods, though quality still varies. Another point is temperature in cold seasons. Drinking large amounts of iced coffee can cool the body and may reduce comfort. Especially for older adults, warm drinks are often a better match in winter. Now we must talk about mixed grains and brown rice. Many people know that grains with more natural layers contain more nutrients. That is true. But grains can also be harder to digest. If you eat mixed grains quickly without chewing well, they may not digest properly and can create gas and strong odor. This is not because grains are bad. It is because digestion begins in the mouth. Carbohydrates need enzymes, and those enzymes start with saliva. Saliva increases when you chew. The more you chew, the more you mix saliva with the food. This helps breakdown begin early if you swallow quickly. The grain reaches the gut without enough preparation. Then it can ferment and create discomfort. So if you want to eat mixed grains as a healthy habit, the key is slow chewing. If you cannot chew slowly, then reduce the grain hardness, cook it softer. Adjust the ratio and focus on comfort. Digestion should guide the choices. Some people try complicated tricks to reduce blood sugar response by making starch less digestible. But if food becomes less digestible, it can move into the colon and cause long-term gut burden. The simplest and safest strategy for blood sugar management is portion control, balanced meals, and slow eating. Now let us clarify one more misunderstanding about enzyme supplements. Enzymes are not nutrients. They are tools that help break down. if you use them occasionally. When digestion is difficult, that may help. But relying on them daily can reduce the body's natural digestive response. The first solution should be chewing, cooking method, and portion size. So what is the conclusion from all of this? The conclusion is not a special secret. The conclusion is the basics. Choose produce without obsession over perfect appearance. Eat a variety of plant foods across colors and across plant parts. Prefer whole foods over heavy juicing. Cook vegetables lightly if digestion is weak. Do not increase fiber suddenly when constipated. Adjust gradually and include soluble fiber. If you follow strict vegan patterns, protect nutrients like vitamin B12 and ensure adequate protein and healthy fats. Watch for warning signs like muscle loss and weakness. Treat coffee as a moderate enjoyment, not as a health cure. If you eat mixed grains, chew slowly and cook softly enough for your body. When older adults follow these simple principles, they often notice changes. Digestion feels lighter, gas odor decreases, meals create steadier energy, and the body becomes more stable. The goal is not perfection. The goal is comfort and consistency. Your best diet is not the one that sounds impressive. The best diet is the one your body digests well and your life can maintain. Avoid extremes. Choose balance. Choose slowly, eat a little less, but eat more wisely. That is the direction that protects health in the long run.